All right, here we go. You know, the one thing when we're thinking about conference, I wanted to make sure when we think of the word more, we knew what it meant. And more is often defined by what other people have. Go ahead and sit down for a minute. We'll be back up. You know, we're influenced every day. We get our phones out, and it's on our scroll. Look at that house. Look at that car, that vacation, the clothes, the gadgets. I want that. I want that. Check out. Add to cart. Do it again. But that's all stuff, right? That's just stuff. That isn't more. I want you today to understand more we're going to talk about. We want you to be more, give more, and live more. Are you ready to live more? So, a vision is not what you see with your eyes open. It's what you see with your eyes closed. That's so important. I didn't know how many people were going to be here. When I closed my eyes, man, every one of these seats were full, and that was our vision. I want you to close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. We'll bring the lights down a little bit. I want to start this in complete darkness. Well, some of you don't have your eyes shut. I know as a teacher, when they tell me to do that, I'd go, no way am I closing my eyes. But look, no one else is in this room. It's just you and me. And this is important. So A, don't be afraid. And I dare you to face this. Keep your eyes closed. Just take this moment with me. We've been on a high the last few days. Let's relax for a minute. Let's envision what more means in your life. This is your moment. Just keep your eyes shut. What do you see right now? Where are you? Where's your happy place? Are you playing at the park with your kids? Are you in a dream home? Are you checking that vacation off your bucket list? Are you outside? Is the sun shining? Is there a view? You're not watching the clock. You don't have any appointments, no obligations, nowhere to be but right here, right now. In this moment, take a deep breath. Now visualize what gives you that warm feeling inside. What brings you joy? What makes you happy? Now take a minute and imagine you have already become your best self. You've accomplished so much of what you've set out to do. With your eyes shut, just kind of smile and be proud right now. You're seeing a life you want. You made more money than you've ever had before. All the bills are paid. Debts are gone. That pressure is gone. The weight of financial burden is lifted. As your best self, how do you look? How do you feel? Did you lose that weight you set out to lose? You feel rested, you're energized. Are you ready to take on whatever comes next? I want you to remember right now what this looks like, what this feels like, who you're with, where you are, who you've become. I want you to fall in love with a life of more. I want you to acknowledge that feeling in your heart. You like that? Do you like that? That is your more. Now open your eyes. Make sure your wallet's there in your purse. No, I'm kidding. That's my family. That's not your family. All right. Doesn't that feel good? Seeing that best vision, your life of more. That's why it's so exciting about this conference. You start to get a vision of what your best life can look like. Doesn't that feel good? Say it. Say, so good. Do it again. So good. Sounds like that. So good, so good. You know, and it works. We always talk about creating your dream board. A lot of you do, but I know a lot of you don't do it. But here's what I want you to do right now. I want you to either take your phone or write down just one thing that you saw just now in that vision. One thing that you were like, yes. After you leave here today, I want you to find some time for yourself to expand on this. It's proven that if you write it down, you write down what you're setting your sights on, you're so much more likely to achieve it. That's why we encourage you every year at the beginning of the year, do your dream boards, because it's proven and it works. Now let's talk about how we can live a life of more. If you're ready, say, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, raise your hand if you have children. All right. Raise your hand if you see a future with kids. All right, so we've had every hand up now. I got to tell you this. Life looks a lot different after kids than it did before, right? But guess what? Fellow parents, grandparents will tell you, you become stronger because of it. Cindy and I are having fun laughing at Christy and Kyler because we go over there and they look exhausted. You don't know what it's like. We're like, well, we kind of went through that. You don't sleep. I know. The house is a mess. I know. It looks a lot different afterwards. But guess what? You become stronger because of it. Kids will test you, and you will keep getting stronger. Because life isn't just about you anymore. It's about serving someone else. Treating those kids with serious love. Giving them the world. Am I right? A life just as good or better than your own. It's tough for a while, but as you continue to pour into your children, you'll get more in return than you could ever have imagined. Cindy, I know you're over it. Thank you for my kids, Cammie, Kenzie, Kyler. They've tested me. All right, they've really tested me. Here's a secret. They still test me. But I'm so much stronger because of it. You kids have brought more joy in my life than I could have ever imagined. And that feeling is my life of more. You see, like a parent with their child, when you give, it will lead to the life you want. You really want to live. Some of you might be thinking, I'll give once I'm able to. Once I get more, check's bigger. But give to live a life of more. You have to give to live a life of more. It's not waiting till you have more and then giving. When you give now, you'll live a life of more. Say that with me. Give to live a life of more. Now, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about kindness, compassion, your time. Man, I look at those awards that were given over the last few days. Man, you guys touch me. You know, Cindy and I and our team, we prayed that it works. They would say, those are good people over there. I love when we come to Tampa. Next week, I'll get calls from the hotels, from the restaurants. Bankers are watching from their offices. They'll say, man, your people are crazy, but they're good people. And they go, they tip good. They treat people well. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about kindness, compassion, your time. This is the greatest investment you can possibly make today. You know the best part of that? It's free. It's just your effort. When someone dedicates their time and energy to you, it can make all the difference in the world. It's so important that we take the time to get to know someone, help them identify their vision for more. A lot of people think I need more before I can give more. Nope. You can't say that before figuring out what more is to someone else. Your more might be a bigger house, while someone else is just trying to pay their month's rent. Your more might be eating organic. Someone else is just trying to put food on their table for their family tonight. Your more could be sending your kids to private school, while there's others that would like to see grass on the playground at their school instead of concrete. Your more could be a vacation in the tropics, while someone wants a roof over their head. You know, Chris, I wouldn't mind that. I shouldn't have had that cigar with you. It's making my voice really grovelly. It's his fault. So I was getting ready for this, and a couple things happened. And I wasn't going to share it because, you know, I found as I got older, when I was coaching in the locker room, I used to say, I don't want an emotional point guard. I want one that's leading and tough out in front. And then somehow in the last few years, I've gotten more emotional. So now I don't mind an emotional point guard. It's not all bad. But I had this story the other day, and I was sharing it to a group of our leaders on a comp call plan. We were talking about changes for the comp plan, bonuses. And then at the end, I just said, you know, I got to tell you guys something. I said, I want to end with this because we're talking about a lot of money, debt-free, a lot of stuff. But we got to remember the more of everybody in these seats. And even my top leaders here, you know, I know their stories. I know ones that were in a food line. I know those that were drowning in debt. When you look at them now, you're like, wow, they're so lucky. No, they worked hard to get where they are. I coach an AAU basketball team. Love getting back into coaching again, coaching Cammy's kids, my grandkids. And we had tryouts. And there was this kid named Therese. And I really liked him during tryouts. And when I like someone, I'll poke them, I'll tease them, I'll kid them a lot. Right, leaders? You guys know which ones I poke a lot, tease a lot. They're like, he's on me. It's because I see the potential and I want it out. And I was doing that with Trez, and I just met him. So afterwards, I thought, you know, I want to go encourage him a little bit and let him know the reason I want to improve his jump shot. I want him to rebound better, box out. And so he was sitting outside next to this lady, and I said, Trez, who's this? And he said, this is my grandma. And I said, boy, Trez had a good tryout, good little ball player. I'm really excited for him. And Trez said, I have a question, coach. So I thought it was going to be on technique or something. And he says, how do we get to the tournaments? I was so confused. I said, get to the tournaments. You know, we get in a car, we go. And he goes, no. How do we get rides there? And Grandma says, we don't have a car. So I'm thinking of a speech of more. And this kid's thinking, how can I just go experience being with a team? And it made me step back and go, today we talk about more. We got some big goals, but we got to take care of every person who's more starts out totally different. And I was telling, and you know, my leadership team let me down. I look up and a couple are bawling and crying, and then I started crying. Okay, maybe I cried first. But it was fun today. I'm talking to one of our leaders, and I said, I don't know why that got to me. And I said, then I looked up and saw you. And she says, well, for me, it was because I made the basketball team, but I had to quit because our family couldn't afford for me to be on the team. So made me think, today, you have a more that you really want. But to get there, you got to have a lot of people around you help them with their more. And while I was stuck on how to improve this young man's basketball game, his stuck wasn't on how to be the best basketball player, but how to just be part of a team and enjoy it. So we got to know what is the more of the people around us, and how do we help them get their more so you get your more. right? So we got to acknowledge that our more may be different than the person sitting next to us. And sometimes the person will need your help to take some baby steps towards a life of more. Therese wants to know how to get to a game. I've already getting him a scholarship in playing Division I basketball. When that happens, he's going to think back and say, Coach, thank you. You just helped me get to the games to start with. That's what I want you thinking about now. Who's with you? Who's on your team that you can help them? You can lift them up where you want to go faster than focusing on yourself. And that's what we wanted It Works to be. And I truly believe our more is tied to our team's more. Am I right? We know the more we give, the more we receive. You'll find yourself so motivated to be the best you possibly can be so that you can give and live a life of more. All right, how else can we become more? Let you remember where we started. Remember your vision of more. What living a life of more looks like to you. Well, first of all, just like, coming up here, we had to get the address, put it in, know the destination, so that I knew how to get here to the hotel. Tonight, I want you to take that one thing you wrote down. I want you to take what you were thinking about when the lights were down, and I want you to build on that vision that you wrote down in your notes. If you haven't done your dream boards, I challenge you, do your dream boards. You got to know your destination. You got to know where you want to go. And then give. Not only what you're able to give financially, but more importantly, what I've seen all weekend, kindness, compassion, get to know your team, help them to get to know their more. Figure out how you can help. And this is an important one, the B. Become the best person you can possibly be. Here's a few ways to become the best version of yourself. This first one's funny. Struggle often. You're like, hey, Coach, I got that one down. I can struggle pretty good. No, every challenge we face has molded us to become more, right? We don't like being in the valley, but it's the most fertile area to grow. Raise your hand if you've struggled. All right, someone don't have their hand, kind of elbow them and say, you're not telling the truth. All right. It might be sickness, trauma, debt. Everyone's experienced some hardships, haven't they? I love this. I'm going to quote a great philosopher, the Terminator. I'll be back. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold said, strength doesn't come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. I think a lot of you have strength. Yeah. Tell your neighbor right now, say he's talking to you, you have strength. I'm talking to you because you have that strength. Here's the thing, more requires more. Wow, that's tough. Just because it's hard doesn't mean you should walk away from it. You're growing, you're becoming stronger. In order to achieve more, sometimes you need to do less of something else. Today, when you're getting that vision in your mind and you're thinking what you want yours to be, to have more, you may have to make room for more and get rid of something else to be less. Maybe it's less TV. Less snacking, less of a certain friend. Whatever your goal is to be more, we got to also think of what less do we take out? What less of time spent? Maybe negative influences in your life so that you can be more towards what really counts. Less negative self-talk. I'm giving yourself permission. I'm actually challenging you. Less negative talk to yourself. I think you're your hardest critic sometimes. You look and say, oh, they look so nice. Oh, that Instagram looks so good. And yet, we're going to stop comparing. We're going to stop the negative talk. How many of you let doubts creep into your mind when starting this business? Raise your hand. Yeah, think. You're starting down a new path to create more for yourself today. More for your family. You know, maybe some of you were told when you started, why would you want to join that? You're not good enough. You'll never be successful. Those people don't have a vision for more. You know, honestly, I didn't realize this. Maybe they're afraid. Maybe they're afraid if you succeed, it says something about them. You can't let that affect you. They don't have the support system or the ambition or the belief that they can be more, give more, and live a life of more. So don't let those thoughts bring you down. See that as an opportunity to lift them up. The people you surround yourself with is so important. They will lead you to become less or to become more. You know, I heard this the other day. It's a great story, and it was an aha for me. I'll use this as an example all the times. We're planting seeds, and the harvest will come. We're planting seeds. We're building your team, sponsoring more people, getting more customers. We're planting seeds for the harvest. But what if, think about this for a minute. What if you're the seed? What if you're the seed? Think of yourself as a seed. You're full of gifts, talents, and potential. And so many of us can see it in you sometimes before you see it in yourself. But you're a seed. You're full of gifts. You're full of talents, potential. But if you plant yourself in unhealthy soil, if you hang around friends who pull you down, if you're in an environment with limited mindsets where people tell you you'll never accomplish your dreams, that seed won't grow. You won't grow. Think about that. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's the thorns and rocks that are choking the life out of your seed. Anybody feel like that? Your character, your dreams, your vision of more is going to grow this year in your seed. Now, this is tough, but I want you to commit to me that you'll do your part. You're going to keep your seed, keep you in good soil. Will you commit that? Now, you're on the right track for 2020 because you're here. I'm proud of every one of you. You had the courage to come here. You had the courage to plant your seed here for more. So congratulations for that. You are created for more. You're created to do more. Say this with me. I will become more. So I can give more. So I can live a life of more. That's what I want you guys to take away today. I want you to have a hunger in you that 2020, I just love 2020. That's perfect vision. I want you to leave with a perfect vision for your life. For 2020, too often the world wants us to think life is against us, we're against each other. That's not the It Works way. I loved all the stories of sideline friends that are best friends. You weren't even each other's lineage of making money, but you're in that lineage of building each other up, of supporting each other. The It Works way is we're better together. The better we are for one another, the better life we will live. Look around here. We're one team. Look at this room. I love this. Your greatest return will be doing things for others. Locking arms and saying, we got this, man. We're in this together. We got this. Finding opportunities to lift each other up. The extreme is kindness and competition. Now you're thinking, what does that mean? We're all competing. You're competing to beat number 27, number 15, top 150, ambassador, black diamond. But having kindness and competition, because there's room for all of you. We all want to win in this, but we win when everyone wins. It should never be at the expense, pain, or loss of another person. More importantly, we become more that day when we give for others. Some of those awards, man, Cindy and I were listening to them before we started conference. Today, some of you giving things that have happened to you and how you're sharing it. That was our desire. That was our prayer. That's the kind of company we have. And that is the kind of company we have because of you. So when we lift someone else up, it was for that person. And it gave us more. So in order to give more, you got to become more. That's up to you, but it all starts with you. You're the seed. I want you to plant it in fertile ground. I want you to remember this moment. This group will never be together again in a room like this. The exact amount of people will never be here like this. And yet this weekend was special. I love, it's like an old show, you know, I love when the teacher becomes the pupil. You guys have taught me so much this weekend on kindness and a whole nother level. You know, I think we do some really good things, and then I see something there, and I'm like, okay, I can up my game. It starts with you. I want you to be the best version of yourself. Why do I want you to be the best version of yourself? So that you can give to others and live a life of more. And it starts right now. Your neighbor may say, you got this, and cheer you on. But you got to be the one that says, I'm taking the step. Movement is needed for more. If you want more, you got to take action and move. You got to challenge yourself. Feed your mind. Surround yourself with motivated people and stay plugged in. Are you ready to do that? You know, I love how so many of you chose to get healthy in 2020. It was really cool to write that check, feeding the kids we've done already this year of 2020. I'm going to share with you a part of my more this year. I shared it at Costa Rica. My next part of more is another run. Now, some of you are like, what's a run? A run, you know, when I was coaching a game, the kids just couldn't play perfect all the time. You can't play perfect all the time in your life. You'll have a run where every time you take a shot, it goes in. You're like, hey. There's times you'll take a shot and it doesn't seem to go in. A run is when things are going your way, you go hard. And you let that momentum of the whole team sweep you up and you go to a new level. We've had some great runs here at Works. But 2020 is going to be the year we look back and say, wow, that run is one for the books. More people got debt free. More people gave. Are you ready for more? If you're ready, I want to know who's ready. If you're ready, put your light on your phone. Put your flashlight on. If you're truly ready, don't put it on unless you're ready. Wow. If you're ready for more, look around, because every light isn't a person, it's a team. Every light that's on right now represents a seed that's about to explode. It's about to grow. I want you to remember this moment. You said, I'm ready for this run. It's going to be an amazing. It starts right now. I think you're ready.